Well, we're still in the first couple weeks of January. This is Catherine Norland, and I wanted to come to you to talk about mindset and how you're going to be planning this new year and what you're going to do differently. And probably a lot of people aren't thinking of this when they think of planning their new year, but what do you guys think heroism is? To be a hero. What does that bring to mind for you? Does that bring to mind like someone who goes off to fight in a war for their country? Or do you think heroism, hi Jada, is someone, hi Lily, is someone who goes into a burning building and saves someone's life? What do you think of when you think of heroism? Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. So you guys seem to like it when I read a poem from another book, and we kind of broke it down talking about what it all meant. And you guys seem to like that last time. Thank you. Hi. So do you remember this book, Poems with Power to Strengthen the Soul? We got a noisemaker here. So there's a poem in here that really hit me, and I read it 3 or 4 times, and I was like, I have to share this. Okay, Jada said it means bravery. What does heroism mean to you? Hi, Cassandra. So, hi, Splash. Okay, so heroism. So this poem by Charlotte Perkins Stetson. So it takes great strength to train to modern service your ancestral brain. So what does that mean? Oh, someone said their mom's a hero. That's really sweet. So bravery. So this is talking about training, making modern day your ancestral brain. Now we have thoughts that do not serve us well. We have thoughts from what other people are saying to us. Hi, Rain. So we have thoughts of that have been passed down to us over the generation that do not help us, with what we're dealing with and help us with our being able to overcome the challenges we're faced with, because people have told us certain things. So this is talking about it takes great strength to train your ancestral brain to lift the weight of the unnumbered years. So what have you been told all these years? Somebody said selflessness, being a good citizen, heroism. Hi from India. So what have you been taught all these years? It says of dead man's habits, methods, and ideas. So what has been passed down to you over the years that isn't something that's helping you, isn't something you want to take into this new year? Oh, someone said their grandma died and she was their hero. So what do you want to take into this new year that's not from the old dead man's habits, methods, and ideas? Hold on, Eli dropped his toy. All right, I'm back. So what are you going to take into this new year to retrain yourself, to retrain your brain, to not handle things the way that you always have handled them? How are you going to live this new year different than you did last year? Okay, so to hold back, this is interesting. Hold back with one hand and support the weak steps of new thought. So you're going to have to hold back your old thoughts, your old ways of doing things, the way people said it should be done. Hold it back with one hand, and with the other hand, help the weak new thought that's coming forth. You guys, someone said heroism is helping and protecting God's creations, supporting your families, being a hero. Yeah. So supporting new thought. So you know what? God is always speaking to you guys. Somebody said my book is amazing. Thank you. God is always speaking to you, and he's given you new thoughts, new ideas, washing away the old ones, the old ways of doing things, and giving you new thought. But it's weak. You know, it's hard to stand up on its own. Like when a baby starts to walk, they're weak. They need a hand. They need to be lifted up. And it's the same with new thought. When a new idea comes to you, some people will say, oh, that's not going to work out. That's not the way we've always done it, because they're stuck in the old ways. Okay, Winnie, shout out to you. Hi. So we're not going to go back to the old ways of doing things. So here it says it takes great strength to bring life up square, to make things right, to bring it up square with your accepted thought and hold it there. Okay, you guys got these new thoughts, these new ideas God has given to you, whether it's your vision or it's for something you want to do, a dream or a goal you have. So how do you bring that thought up and hold it up square and have the strength to keep it there when everyone is saying that idea isn't going to work? Hi from the Philippines. That idea isn't going to work. It's going to fail. Nothing is going to turn out for you. No one has ever done that before, so it's not going to work out. And you have to push those thoughts aside. Help those weaker thoughts that are new and hold them up square, resisting the inertia that drags back from new attempts to the old habits track. You know, you have old habits. We all have old habits and ways of doing things. Hi, InstaJK. We have old ways of doing things. Hey, Clara. And how do you bring your new thought, your new ideas, your new way of doing things? Let's say you're in a forest and there's been a path that's cut out and this is the way everyone's gone. And this is the easy road because it's already cut. And now you have this idea. They're saying, hi, Elijah. Hi. You have this idea of going a different direction. But now you have to bring your machete and you have to cut down the forest. You have to cut down the brush and you have to make your own path along the way. All right. So how do you do that? Resisting the inertia that drags you back. Your old ways, your old thoughts, your old friends are going to tell you that's not the way to go. You got to go the way we all went. This is the way that works. That your new way is probably not going to work out for you. So it's so easy to drift back, to sink. So hard to live abreast of what you think. You guys can't live differently until you start thinking differently. And that's really the rub. That's really the hard part because have you ever had dreams in your heart that you were like, man, I really want to make this happen. This is like my dream. But somehow it doesn't happen because you don't act accordingly to what needs to be done to make your dream happen. Maybe you sabotage yourself. Maybe you're scared to take the right steps. So your way of thinking leads you to the kind of behavior that you don't want, that you don't like. So it's changing that mindset. It says it's easy to drift back and to live abreast of what you think. So the only way you're going to get your dreams, someone said the way to be a hero is to be kind and generous and trust God, whether we sometimes fail to be the one. Yeah. Hi, Fifi. So shout out to Amy Love Music 22. It's her birthday on Sunday. Thank you. So living the way we're supposed to live, living the way we need to live isn't going to happen unless we change our mindset. It says it takes great strength to live where you belong. Listen to this next line. When other people think that you are wrong. Can I get a hand raised for everybody who has told you you are wrong to have dreams? You are wrong to have those dreams that you want to have, and they're not going to happen. Okay, Dia, Thera, Maiden. Well, happy birthday to you too. A lot of birthday people here. Okay, so Tux Nami Ocean. Hey, shout out. So how are you going to keep living your dream if everybody is telling you you're wrong? Have you thought about how you're going to continue to do that? How are you going to stand against the people who are all telling you you're not doing it right? It's not going to happen for you. Why are you even bothering? This isn't the way it is. You know, it takes great strength to live where you belong when other people think that you are wrong. Man, when I moved to Los Angeles from my little small town, it was like, you are wrong to do that. You're going to this awful place that's full of sin and debauchery, and, you know, people are going to get hooked on drugs. You know, you're not going to make it. You know, I had everybody telling me that I was wrong for doing what I was going to do. And even now, changing, you know, wanting to, someone said, who is getting like, I'm not good enough. I'm not dumb enough. I'll never reach my goals. I don't give up. Yeah, People will tell you that. People will tell you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not thin enough, you're not strong enough, you're not whatever it is. So it does take great strength to stand against everyone who says you're doing it wrong. Okay, so people you love and who love you and whose approval is a pleasure you would choose. How many of you guys have been guilty doing something you don't want to do because you want the approval of people who love you? I think we have all been guilty of that. We want this dream, but somebody we love is saying, no, that's not going to work out for you. So we cave in and we do what these other people want us to do because we want their approval. But how can we do what we want to do if we're seeking other people's approval? We're never going to be able to please everybody. It says here to bear this pressure. It's a lot of pressure to go against the grain, isn't it? Oh, somebody said, I almost killed myself until I started watching Dhar Mann. I am so happy you're still here. Keep fighting. You know, people will tell you, well, your brain, the devil will tell you, just end it all. That's the way to get over this pain. And it's not true. It's not true. Suicide is a permanent, what you think is a solution to a temporary problem. Listen, problems will come and go. But your life is precious. It's that one thing you have, and you have to cherish it, okay? And live to the fullest. So stop choosing approval. Stop choosing other people's approval. You have to bear pressure. You have to stand against the pressure of people saying you're wrong. Someone said their mom passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. I couldn't read it all. It's going too fast. Okay. So how do you stand against this pressure going against you saying you're not doing it right? You're not going to be able to make it. To bear this pressure and succeed at length in living your belief. Well, it takes strength. So how strong are you guys going to be? The stronger you make yourself, the more you're going to be able to not cave into the pressure. The more strength you build up in your mind, in your spirit, in your inner man, retraining yourself to not need other people's approval. Oh, thank you, Epic Hot Dog. You have to stand against what other people think in order to reach your dreams. You know, you have everybody coming against your dreams, and the closer you get to them, the more the attacks are going to come. Have you ever noticed that? So let's see. And courage. That's heroism. And courage too. But what does courage mean? Have you thought about that? Oh my gosh, Lily, I'm so sorry that has happened to you. Lily said she's had teachers beat her and physically yell at her and shame her and abuse her. No one should have to deal with that. And a teacher is supposed to be a mentor you can trust. Someone who's there for you. And I hope I can be a teacher and a mentor to you guys. So you need courage, heroism. Part of that, in order to fulfill your dream and be a hero, is to have the courage too. But what does courage mean? Save strength to help you face a pain unseen. So part of courage is not just all about running into, I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's not all about running into a burning building and saving someone. Did you drop your toy? Where is it? Okay, look for it. Here, let me get you. Did you find your toy? So courage is also the strength to be able to face the things that are unseen. There's pain coming, okay? Not everything is going to be perfect. There's always pain in our lives. There's always something we're going to face, but are we going to have the courage to face what's unseen that's coming against us? That's what we need to do. Courage to undertake this lifelong strain. Yeah, we may not, you know, it's so easy to think that everyone else has it so much better than we do. Matthew 25 said, life is like a racetrack. Your hope is a step closer, but your depression is a step further. Okay. We need to have confidence upon ourselves because sometimes our friends will cheat on us. cheat us out of achieving our dream. That's so true. Okay, so how do you undertake lifelong strain? It's so easy to think everyone else has it better than us. When you look at Instagram and different social media places, people are always pretending. Well, some of it's not pretend, but a lot of people are pretending their life is all perfect and nothing is ever going wrong, and that they're always like sipping drinks beachside, and they don't show the messy parts of their life. They only show what is good all the time. And when you only show what's good all the time, it's like it's just false reality. This is saying we're going to have lifelong strain. And it's true. Life is going to be a battle, especially if you're out to do something, especially if you're out to make a difference, especially if you want to create a different future for yourself and not just sit back and just go with the status flow, but to step out and make a big difference. So how are you going to undertake the lifelong strain of setting yours against your grandsire's brain? It's all about the mind work. It's all about changing your mind. Dangerous risk of walking lone and free. How many of you know people want to go with the crowd. They want to be accepted. They want to be loved. But when you're going after your dreams, a lot of times, man, you are going to be walking alone, but you're going to be free. How many of you have ever, someone said they didn't sleep because they're watching me. Well, hope you get some sleep after this. How many of you know you're going to be walking alone? And walking alone and free is better than being in a crowd, but feeling like you're in prison. You want to be free to live the life that you feel like you're called to live, that you're supposed to live. God put a dream in your heart, not for you to give in and cave into what other people want you to do, but to be who you were meant to be, to go against the grain. And sometimes that means walking alone, but walking free. I know I have felt alone so many times. Nobody could understand what I'm doing. My friends want to just hang out and watch movies all the time or go to clubs and go drinking. And I had to stay home and work on my dreams. I had to stay home and work on my writing when everyone else was going to parties and going to the beach. And that's a decision you guys are going to have to make for yourself too. So it's dangerous to walk, the dangerous risk of walking alone but free, out of the easy paths that used to be. Yeah, it was easy when we weren't trying to follow anything. It was easy when we weren't trying to make a difference. Someone said, I'm not alone because you are always in my heart and mind. And that's the thing. God is always with us. We are never alone because God is always with us. He would never leave us or forsake us, even if everybody else does. Okay? So, hey, Prisha. I know you've been asking me for a long time for a shout out, and I finally got it. Yay! Prisha, shout out to you. So you're going to be alone sometimes on the path to your dream. People aren't going to get it. They're not going to support you. But it's funny. The same people that were telling you it's not going to work out, suddenly, when you do make it, they're like, oh, we always knew you could. It's like, yeah, right. Come on. You were being like a hater to me, telling me it wasn't going to work. And now that I've made it, you're like, oh, yeah, we always knew you could. Little one's trying to fall asleep. Okay. So out of the easy paths that used to be and the fierce pain of hurting those we love, when love meets truth, truth must ride above. How many of you know some people may be hurt by the decisions you choose to make? Some people may be upset. They may be offended. They aren't going to like the choices you make. But you have to live true to yourself. You know what? You have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and be proud. Be proud of who you are. Be able to look in the mirror every day and say, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. We don't want to get to the end of our life and have regrets that we didn't follow what our dreams are because Steve, Elena, I will pray for you. Okay. We have to follow our dreams because we have to live with ourselves. We don't want to look back at our life and go, oh, I didn't follow my dream because I was so worried about what other people were going to think of me. Listen, truth has to ride above. Your truth has to ride above what anyone else would say of you or think of you. But the best courage man has ever shown is daring to cut loose and think alone. That's it. Going to be alone again, but you're thinking. You're not going with the status quo. You're not going with the crowd. You're doing what you know to do. And that's going to be hard. I'm going to be here for you guys, cheerleading you all along the way because your dreams are possible. God would have never put these dreams in your heart if you weren't meant to have them. Okay? Delight yourself in him and he gives you the desires of your heart. So, dark are the unlit chambers of clear space where light shines back from no reflecting face. Yeah, no one's going to be there. No one's going to be there reflecting smiles on what you're doing. You might be alone. You might be out in the dark, but you're going for your dreams and you don't ever want to just do what everyone else tells you to do. Angel Webb, I'm sorry I didn't get to your comment. I've got comments going everywhere and I'm trying to do a little thing here. Maybe one time I'll just get on here and just only do comments. But today I wanted to teach you a little something about heroism. So please, guys, please don't feel hurt or offended if I don't see your comment or don't read it because I'm sharing what's in the book. It doesn't mean I don't care about you. And I don't want you to have that little voice in your head saying, she doesn't care, she didn't read mine, I'm not important to her, because you are all important. And you have to know, I mean, this is right on par with what I'm talking about. Sometimes you're going to be alone. Sometimes no one's going to notice you. Sometimes you're not going to have that shining face reflecting and smiling back at you. So if I don't get to your comments, I apologize in advance, okay? You're not going to get a light shining back from a reflecting face. Our sun's wide glare, our heavens shining blue, we owe to fog and dust they fumble through. Okay, we're fumbling through dust and fog. We're not getting the sunshine, but you know what? We're still going to go after our dreams. Through the dust, through the fog, though the paths aren't clear, though no one is there for us, there's no face shining back, there's no one cheering for our thoughts, we're still going to rush forward. And our rich wisdom that we treasure so shines from the 1,000 things we don't know. Have you ever been fueled by this excitement of things you don't know? Like, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? How is this going to turn out? It's like taking that time to daydream, to think, man, if my goal really does happen, there's thousands of things I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know how this is going to be. But I'm excited at the thought of it. I'm excited at the opportunity. I'm excited. Okay, somebody on Instagram says that I'm glitching. If it's glitching on Instagram, I'm also live on YouTube right now. So if you want to switch over to YouTube to avoid the glitching, I don't know, that happened last time too. Somebody said I was glitching on Instagram. So hop over to YouTube then. So the things you don't know can sometimes fuel you. Like, what if this really does work out? I know you guys take time to sit down and consider what'll happen if it doesn't work, but how about you spend the same amount of time, or even better, more amount of time, thinking about what will happen if it does work out? How about instead of always sitting around thinking of the worst possible scenarios, how about we sit and think about the best case scenarios? Do you think that would fuel you? Do you think that would get you excited? Instead of thinking, oh, what if all this bad stuff happens? How about we start to daydream about, oh, what if all this good stuff happens? That would be fuel to go on. When you're facing hard days, if you just stop to say, what if this good stuff happens? Listen to this. But to think new, it takes courage grim, as led Columbus over the world's rim. So I'm going to reread that again because I think the Instagram shut off. It says, but to think new, it takes a courage grim, as led Columbus over the world's rim. Talk about having new thoughts and going against the grain. Columbus decided he was going to sail around the world when everybody thought the world was flat. Everyone was saying, don't do that. You're crazy. You're going to die. And everybody with you, the ship's just going to go boop off the edge of the world and you're going to be no more. How many of you know you have thoughts that seem crazy to some people, but you just know in your heart, you just have to do it. They think you're going to die. They think you're not going to be able to make a living. You're not going to be able to make money. You're going to go off the edge of the world. But you know in your heart, the world is round and you're going to be able to sail around. You know in your heart that the dream that you have is going to work because God put it there. So no matter all the other stories of failure, no matter what anybody else thinks of you, you know you're going to make it through and you're going to succeed. So to think it costs some courage. And to go, try it. It takes every power you know. How many people aren't living their dreams because they don't have the courage and they haven't used every power in them? They try a little bit. They go to, you trying to be an actor? They go to 3 auditions, they get 3 no's, so they quit. Oh my goodness. I've had hundreds of no's. I have been in casting rooms in front of casting directors who have sat and told me so many things wrong with me, listed all the reasons I was never going to make it. You're too short, you're too tall, you're too blonde, your eyes don't match, you're too pale, you're too fat, your face looks 20, but your neck looks 30. You're this, you're that. I could name them forever. I'm not going to bore you. I talk about that a lot in my upcoming course called You Are Worthy. Somebody asked if I sing. I sing in church. That's about it. I'm not a great singer, but when I do it with all my heart. Yeah, you don't want to hear me sing. It takes great love to stir the human heart. How many of you guys love to stir the human heart, to stir people up? How do you feel when you get a friend to believe in their dreams? Doesn't that just make you happy inside? Just to stir other people up? I hope I'm stirring you guys up because that's my intent, to stir your heart to go for your dreams. It takes great love to stir the human heart, to live beyond the others and apart. There we go. Go in your path alone. You know, when you reach the success, when you reach the top, when you've got the fancy car and the big house and the pool and the hot husband or wife, suddenly everyone wants to be your friend. But where were you when you were working 16 hours a day, toiling away at your dreams, trying to make $1 out of 50 cents, trying to make it happen? They were nowhere to be found. So take note of that. Take note of who suddenly comes out of the woodwork when you're successful, but who's not around when you're fighting for your dream. A love that is not shallow is not small. Interesting. A love that is not shallow is not small. So if you have deep love, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be enough to love everybody around you. You know what? If your love isn't shallow, it's going to be deep enough and big enough to love even your enemies, to love even those who are coming against you. That's what Jesus would do, right? Love your enemies. Love those who persecute you. Pray for those who spitefully use you. A love that is not shallow is not small. It's not for one or two, but for them all. You know, you can love everybody. They don't have to agree with you. You know, here in America, there's a lot of tension right now. A lot of stuff going on politically, and it's got people hating each other. But how about it's got people putting each other down, yelling at each other, saying all kinds of nasty things about each other on social media. But how about you love deep enough to love people who have different opinions than you, people who look different than you, people who vote different than you. Have you ever thought about having that kind of love? Not a shallow love for one or two that agree with you, but a love deep enough for everyone around, whether you have the same views or look the same or live the same or believe the same. That's the kind of love we should have. Love that can wound love for its higher need. I don't know what the author was thinking when they wrote that, but when I read love that can wound love for its higher need, that's a love where you can be hurt by others. Someone says, when someone says something mean, take it as a compliment. Oh, that's a good one. And Prisha said, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So those of you who said I'm lagging and you can't hear me, please watch me on YouTube Live. Then you'll get the whole thing, because nobody on YouTube is saying that I'm lagging. Okay, so love that is so deep that you're okay with other people hurting you. I mean, you don't put yourself in dangerous positions, but I'm just saying you can have a love so deep that you're not going to let what anybody says about you hurt you. Okay? Have a love so deep that you love someone even if they wound you. A love that can lose love. Have a love so deep that you can lose love, family, and friend. Love for yourself, love for your thought, love for others. You know, joy, when you think of joy, it's not putting yourself first. It's putting yourself last. But at the same time, you're still putting yourself in the equation of joy, okay? To esteem others higher than yourself, give someone else the best seat. Give someone else the biggest piece of cake. Give someone the nicest thing and you take the lesser thing, sure. But don't give up on your dreams. That's where a lot of people get confused. They think putting others first means they're not putting themselves anything at all. They think it means giving someone the whole pie and they don't even get a slice. Okay? But there's plenty for you too. There's plenty for you too. Yet steadfastly live, loving to an end. Love that can lose love, family, and friend. A love that asks no answer, that can live, moved by one burning, deathless force, to give. The dreams you have in your heart, they're not selfish. They don't have to be selfish. Gamer Freak 92 said, don't judge someone you might not know what they're going through. My God, that is so true. There's been so many times in my life where I've gotten on live. I've done this inspiring message to give people, and then something's happening in my life, and I'm getting off the live, and I'm crying. As soon as I've done this inspirational message that I've given you, I'm sitting on my bed crying because of what's happening in my life. So yeah, people never know what you're going through. And people who sometimes you think, oh, they have everything. They've got the money, they've got the best of everything. You don't know if they're crying themselves to sleep at night because they can't live with themselves, right? So love, strength, and courage. Courage, strength, and love. But the heroes of all time are built thereof. So this poem on heroism says it all has to do with love, strength, and courage. Courage, strength, and love. That's what heroes are built on. Heroes are built on, it's not just someone who loves to risk danger, who loves to do dangerous things to be a hero. Sometimes it's just having the courage to speak up when others have come against you. Sometimes it's just having the courage to think new thoughts and dream new dreams and go after them. Sometimes it's having the courage to love those who are coming against you, to love those who hate you, hate your ideas, but you still have to be true to yourself. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Someone said people need to respect each other because if we don't stay as one, we will lose all trust. That's it. The enemy comes to divide and conquer, and a house divided cannot stand. If if nobody can get along and everybody's hating each other, then we're all destroyed. The side that's hating can never win. So just some thoughts for you to think about. Love you guys. I hope that was encouraging to you. Take care.